Okay, raise your hand if it's your first camp. Okay, that's a pretty good chunk of people. There is a lot of jiu-jitsu at this camp. This is the second class that you could have possibly taken. It is impossible, even with the best notes, to remember everything, okay? So I try to make things as simple as possible. I just want you to leave with one thing from this class if you don't remember anything else, okay? And we're gonna cheat code it, put it up front. It's the title, okay? Whenever we go for a submission, a joint submission, and actually a lot of stranglers too, but whenever we go for a joint submission, I want the breaking mechanics to come from your hips, okay? Not arms. Most of us will try to break things with our arms, okay? That's the one thing, okay? Can we all remember that? Break with the hips, super easy, okay? Now we're gonna spend the rest of class trying to prove if that's true or not. Let's see if that's accurate, okay? We're gonna start out with, this side, let me use, yes, exactly. We're gonna start out with an arm bar, okay? And this one, it seems, that is the loudest cell phone I've ever heard. Is that a cell phone? Wow. Okay, so when this one seems like kind of obvious, like, okay, we've all seen like hips up and all that kind of stuff, but we're gonna go through a bunch of different details to really isolate the arm and show how our hips do the work, okay? So something else to remember, if there was a 1, something else to remember is like a 1A. So the 1 is break with your hips. The 1A is whenever we're trying to break something, control the joint below. So let's say we're trying to break the elbow, right? Just a regular old one, okay? We're gonna control the wrist and we're gonna control the shoulder. And then where are my hips gonna go? Right on the point that I wanna break, right?
Hands are so cold.
So cold. Sorry. All right, so we're controlling the joint below and the joint above. All right, so I'm gonna get into my arm bar position, right? What does it mean to control the shoulder, okay? Well, most of us have heard, well, we want our knees pinched together, right? We've heard this, but why do we want our knees pinched together? Anybody?
Because control the space around us.
Because we're trying to control the space around the shoulder. We're trying to control the shoulder, right? By the way, we've all heard, like, don't cross your legs. Why can't you cross your legs and pinch your knees together? Asking for a friend, I really don't know. It's just that this is more comfortable knees. Oh, your nose is cold. Oh, revenge. What we're trying to do is pinch our knees. That is helpful, right? But you guys all knew that, so I got to add a little something else to it. What I like to think about when I'm attacking an arm is how close are my hips to controlling the shoulder with weight? So right now, where's my weight? On the ground, right? Everybody sees that? What happens if, and there's a multitude of things I can do with my legs here, but I'm going to be nice to her currently, and I'm just going to plant my feet next to hers, and I'm going to go heel to butt and butt to heel. So there is a difference, and I'd like you to, when you're with your partner, think about that difference. It's not just me squeezing here, but it's me squeezing here and me getting closer with my hips. Does that make sense? When I do that, now my weight of my hips is crowding that shoulder. Then I can start to pinch my knees together, okay? So what I'd like you guys to do when we get with our partners first is get into this position, and the head we can deal with a lot, but I'm showing the breaking mechanic. This isn't an arm bar class, so there are certain things that I'm kind of going over. I want to get to the hips, right? But to get there, control the joint above. If my hips were up onto her, this would be ideal, okay? I'm really controlling the shoulder joint then. All right, so that's that. Now, how do we control the joint below, which is the wrist? My favorite is the, what's up, dude? Good to see you, right? I like to control that thumb. To do that, it's really great to see you, Megan. Okay. So when we get with our partner, we're going to get into this normal arm bar, okay? We're going to do it like we normally would, okay? Kind of far away. Maybe we get a tap, maybe we don't. Probably, if it was elbows like me, probably not elbows like her. We're going to do that. And then we're just going to pinch and pinch, attach with the what's up dude. We're going to attach it to our body and just sit here, okay? how much tighter is this versus this?
Substantially?
That's a good answer. Good Uki. Okay. Maybe like just a little piece underneath this. Arms and legs are meant for attaching. Okay. Everything else breaking is going to be our hips. So attach, attach. And then we can find out where in space our hips are going to engage. Right? Does that make sense so far? Heels to butt, butt to heels. Control that shoulder. Control that shoulder. Everything you can do to control that shoulder. With weight if possible. What's up, dude? Hold, attach, attach. Okay? Let's try that. 1, 2, 3.
Does it feel tight at all? Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely controlled. And then
We're still being pretty lazy when I'm looking around with our legs here. Okay? You guys, it doesn't matter. In fact, I try to use them more often than not, like this, right? Doesn't matter if we can put our feet on the ground or whatever. I want to be active, heels back to my butt and butt to heels. So like in a real, like I'm not just sitting here, he's not just sitting here. In a real situation, I'm driving like this. And how does that feel? Tight?
Substantial.
Right. Perfect. Somebody was listening. Gold star for listening today. Okay? So active. And you can see, like, just look at my legs. There's this and that. Right? This, that. Okay, let's try it again. 1, 2, 3. I have 5 different submissions that I would like to prove to you that it's all in the hips. Like Shakira. Let Shakira be great. What's that? Hips don't lie, yes. Exactly. Can we like somehow like edit that into this video?
Or your joke out.
Yeah. All right. So any questions that really hop into mind real quick? Nope. All right. Everybody kind of get that? Great. All right. What about Kimura? Come here. Okay, we all know Kimura, I hope, right? And there's a bunch of different things that we can do here to make this stronger. There's this, okay? Arm versus arm, and I'm trying to put it behind the back, okay? Or we get our Kimura grip. Remember, what do arms do? Attach. Hold will work too. Attach is the word I was using, right? When we want to attach our arms, we can do one of 2 things. We can bring our arms back to us, or we can bring our body to our arms, right? Make sense? So in Kimuras, most of the time, I try to bring my body to my arms. So if our person makes a mistake here, and I was able to get this up, immediately I'm attaching myself. Okay, now that's hold. All right, what do legs do? They attach as well, right? So I'm attached. My legs are going to attach. You gonna be okay? Okay. My legs are going to attach. Okay. Sometimes, depending on who you're fighting or who you're grappling, you might need to use your hips. 1, to break that out, right? But I'm going to keep it tight. Shifting my hips. Hips, 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 hips. Everybody see that? At no point am I extending my arms. My body, especially my hips, is what's doing the break. Okay? So again, Kimura is a little bit special in that I'm reaching. And the second that I reach, I'm bringing my body to my arms. Once that's attached, it's attached. Attaching, 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 attaching. Okay? Once I'm attached there, and I'm going kind of lighter because I don't want to, perhaps I need to move my hips to get it out. But in that space, raising my hips, just like we were doing in the last class, right? And rotating my hips underneath. And then it's hips, 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 hips. And if need be, for whatever crazy reason, then arms. Okay? So we're going to get into our Kimura position. attach, attach, attach. Hips, 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 hips. You okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Sounds fun.
All right. And get our finish. Sound good? Let's try that. 1, 2, 3. How it always works.
I felt that you were doing it more.
Okay, as we're doing this, God, that's a nice white heat. This is what most people are doing, okay? You're getting grips and you're doing a nice job of bringing your body to it, okay? But your legs are just kind of like hanging out and you're just doing this. You're not making any space underneath. Instead of having them just hang out, attach, elbows back home. Look at my hips off the ground. I'm not using the ground or anything, I'm just using him, okay? Him. Okay, what's also happening when you do that is you're taking all the slack out of the joint, out of the shoulder joint, which is going to be a quicker tap as well, okay? But realistically, we're getting here, getting our elbows back home, was how I normally say it, but body, so that's attach. Active, attach. This could go anywhere. Go here, go here. Just try to get this up so you can raise your hips, right? And now in the space that's below me, that's when I start to rotate, okay? This would still be active, but you know what? I want to move my hips more. Make sense? Using him, getting my hips involved. Attach. Okay, let's try that one more time. 1, 2, 3. There you go, yes. And now use your other leg to try to turn your hips towards the space. Yep. And now just keep attached. Don't rotate that way. So you'll notice on the arm bar, hips into the shoulder, even hips off the ground into the shoulder. Kimura, hips in, hips off the ground so they can rotate. So this hips off the ground thing is, maybe there's something to that. Well, think about it, right? Okay, we're going to go into straight ankle lock here. Just from Ashi. Can I use this one? All right. What do our legs do?
Attach.
Attach, yes. Okay. So most of us hopefully know the Ashi position. If not, that's okay. This is pretty easy. In fact, Charles, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 steps, okay? So we're going to get into that position. We're going to have our nice ankle. Ideally, we'd want to be at the joint, okay? We want to be as high as we can. And again, elbows back home. When I say elbows back home, I mean not flared, just an active, like you're carrying heavy groceries. Not forward, like this, okay? So I would be there. I'm not going to be because I don't want to put that kind of pressure on the exact precise point. I'm just going to be here so I can talk and show, okay? So I get into my nice Ashi position. Okay, what a lot of people do is they use their lower back to start to go like this, okay? What a lot of people do is they'll keep their arm flared and try to go, okay? What I'm suggesting is use your hips, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach here. Okay, that means elbows home, everything in tight. I'm going to attach here. So that means, again, hips to heel, heel to hips, cover, cover. Okay, I'm going to raise my hips again. Get to my shoulder. I won't even be able to do this, but get to my shoulder, raise my hips, drive my hips in. Okay, so it's weird that we have to do it. Like in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm loosening up things so she didn't tap. Like, that's probably a good thing. She doesn't need to tap 50 times just to prove that it works. Hips engage with the knee. Attach, attach. Get to that shoulder. You see how my hips are off the ground? Okay. Go ahead and look at the ground. And then utilize that space to try to drive your hips, not just straight. If possible, rotate them down. Okay? Ashi, this isn't attached. My elbow's pointing out. I want my elbow back home. Okay? This isn't attached. I want to be so tight that I can lift my hips up. Okay? Attach, attach. Hips are going to do the braking. But just a straight ankle lock. Let's practice and see if it finds out. Okay? We're here. Raise our hips. I'm not doing anything else. Just driving in. Sound good? Let's try that. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, you're bring it. Yeah, you got it.
To have your hips engaged on the knee, to finish this, to use your hips to finish it, you need your hips engaged with the knee. So when I shoot in for Ashi, my hips are sitting on his knee. Okay? It's not here. This is a weird motion. Okay? So if I'm here, all of this, then when I try to go for the hip, there's space. So it's not putting that pressure. So let's see. Okay? So I'm going to do everything else the same. I'm going to use that, which wasn't a lot of force. Huge difference. Get those hips on that knee. Okay? 1, 2, 3. We're about, I don't know, 68% through the class. How are we doing? Still got your attention? I like that honest face. It's all right. Good. Any questions so far? Problems with the straight ankle lock? Okay. Cool. Let's move on. Knee bars. Can we knee bar you?
All the time.
Happens all the time. How do we want to get into a knee bar? Maybe just how I talk. Yeah, let's rotate. Okay. So, knee bar. What's happening with my arms? Attach. That could be, I could attach like this, right? I could attach like this. Doesn't matter, but I want to attach. Okay? What do I want to do with my legs? Attach. So, on a knee bar, normally, I'm sitting my hips into the hip most of the time, okay? Sitting hips into the hip, and just the same thing as an arm bar, like I said, heels to butt and butt to heels, okay? Depending on whose leg this is, at first, so I know that she's got a lot of dexterity. My legs aren't just hanging out here. They're not like, oh, they're in the position, they'll be fine. There's a huge difference between this and this. Okay? Heels to butt, butt to heels. Attach. In this case, I just went under the arm. I don't care if you want to be here. Right? If you want to control the heel, just like the what's up dude with the arm, that's cool too. Right? This does end up a little bit tighter, so you can play with that. Once you're in your position, ask your partner, play with your partner, see the difference between this and this. Megan, what's the difference?
My leg doesn't like it.
Her leg. It's substantial, right? So we want to make sure heels to butt, butt to heels, controlling the joint above, controlling the joint below. Then again, probably won't get to this place, but I'm trying to use her to raise my hips up off the ground and then down. Okay? Everybody see what I'm doing? It's all the same. Attach, attach. Use my body to get the break. Okay? Let's play with it. 1, 2, 3. How are we feeling now? Special? Yes.
I believe the clanking leg, whether you clamp it from the top, or whether you clamp the other, if you know what I mean.
Yes. So what's important is that it's clamped and that you have control of that joint. In certain scenarios, there may be something that'd be a little bit more efficient. That being said, that would be a scenario-specific thing. As long as your hips and your legs are attached, right? Attach, hip. As long as that's happening actively, you should be okay. But there may be times where it would be better if one was just a little bit to this, but that will come with mat time.
We were going I guess, further down the side, we were ending up more on like the side of the knee with our hips. Is that okay? Like it was starting to feel the breakthrough tension. Is that better or worse?
It depends. My students back home will love that answer.
Yeah.
It depends. Yeah, it depends. Hypothetically, you'd want to be on top because if you do slip to a side, then you still have that, where if you're on the side and it does slip a little bit, it's in the back. That being said, I kind of like the side. Yeah. Okay, last one. Are we still with me? Yes. Oh, that was pretty good. All right, nice. Heel hooks. How can a heel hook be a hip? That doesn't make any sense. What we're doing is we're taking a heel and we're just rotating off the mats, and right? That's what we're doing? Okay, who in here knows heel hooks? All right, that's what I was afraid of. That's why I left this to last year. Okay. Who here knows saddle, 411, honey hole, whatever you want to call it? The same fucking people. Perfect. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a leg, and we're going to sit 90 degrees to our partner, okay? The leg that's closest to your partner's body, you're just going to sit over here, okay? The leg that's farthest from the body is going to go underneath the knee, okay? So this is really basic saddle. I use saddle, there's a million different names. That's just what I'm using, okay? What a heel hook is, and what you may learn, it's isolating this heel, and then a lot of times it's like rotation, okay? What I'm going to argue for this class is that it's not rotation. In fact, I'm just securing, and then not letting that knee move. So you can see this knee, as I rotate the heel, you see how it starts to turn outwards, right? Well, if I plant this and my hips are here and I start driving the knee that way but keep this here, you can see where that would be a problem, right? Everybody see that? As opposed to getting here, and we can create a wall. That's okay with our hips, what I mean. But a lot of times when we rotate, so do our hips, and then so does the person. Okay? And if you ever see people playing heel hooks and they're just little roly-polies off the mat, that's what's happening. Okay? If you don't know heel hooks at all, what I suggest is either going back to a straight ankle lock or going absurdly slow. Okay? But we're going to get into this saddle position. I don't want to get into the details of the different saddle positions, but in this case, the leg that's closest, I'm going to bring in as much as possible, and I'm going to bring my butt to my heel. So exactly the same type of stuff that we were doing. Okay? I'm going to try to feed the inside of the foot into the armpit. I prefer grabbing a heel. Like a lot of people do this shit that just slips for me too much. I like to grab the heel and help it into that armpit. Okay? Don't do anything else. There's a lot of other stuff that we want to do. I want to drive this in to the mat. Don't do anything else. All I want to do is just really basic so we don't injure ourselves. We'll get to this point, and then we're going to do the exact same stuff that we've just been doing. Attach, heel to butt, butt to heel. Okay? Attach. This would be attached like this. Elbows home, all the same things. Okay? Then all I want us to do is get to this position. There should be some, you see how this is loose? This is okay. Okay? We're just going to get to this position. Tight, raise our hips, and then start doing the same thing. Slowly. There's a couple people here that I saw going ham on some knee bars. Do not do that, okay? This is first day of camp. ruin each other, okay? So way back, 90 degrees perpendicular, the loudest alarm ever. Leg over, other leg under, okay? Hip to heel, heel to hip, nice and tight, okay? We're trying to grab this opposite heel, feeding the foot to the armpit, and this is where we're gonna stop. There's a bunch of details that you could take home and that we should do if we were really trying to finish a heel hook strong. Forget about that. This is a hips are the things that are breaking in everything or every joint lock. It's the same thing. We're just going to hold this here slowly when you get to this point. Raise our hips and then in. Slowly. Did I mention slowly? All right. Safety first. 1, 2, 3. So you want your hips engaged with the outside of the knee. There you go. Now point your hand. There you go. Yes. So that elongates you to get to the point. The most common mistake that I was seeing in that, actually, is Tom in here? No. Oh yeah, you're. Yeah, I'm gonna use your. Can you come here real quick?
I need some long ass legs.
I need some long ass legs. Long ass legs. Okay. So if I'm in this particular position, it's a really, like if you just try to, it's difficult for me to reach back, okay? Remember, hips are the breaking point, right? So I know that my hips need to be at the knee. That means that I may, instead of having my hips here, which would be ideal, unfortunately he's got some long ass legs, I'll scoot more towards the knee, but then really bite.
Yeah, it's like.
It sucks, okay? Then, yeah. So like, instead of being here, my whole system's here, but I'm still heel to butt, butt to heel. Legs attach, arms attach, hips break. So on this long leg, now I get this. Then I would lift and then start kaplan. Most of you are like, I feel it in the knee. Yep, perfect. Okay, I'm not interested in roly pulling off the mat. To me, this is also safer because if I get here, 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 move. Ready? Jesus Christ, you are a big guy. My toe just got stuck in, never mind. If I go for this on him, movement, that's not my friend. Does that make sense? Attach, attach, break. Hips break. Joint locks. Make sense?
Yes.
Have we proved it?
Yes.
I love your answer. You're like, yeah. Do you have a better one?
Substantial.
It's substantial. Okay, it's an improvement, I guess. All right, we're going to work on camp, and we're going to see if I can get that. So.
That's some good advice.
Okay. All right. I'm here all camp. I really appreciate all of you guys, and for humoring me with the moment of gratitude. Even Cynthia had the moment of gratitude at the beginning. It's awesome. It's such an honor and a privilege to be here with all of you from all over, and to be doing jiu-jitsu in the middle of Poland on a Japanese-themed playground, right? So thank you very much. That's it.
Thank you.